All right, guys, we're going to jump into who's who and what's new. And I'm going to tell you, like I do every week, we have not talked about these headlines
Nope.
beforehand. I go out day of, I find what's trending,
Yep.
what the whole internet is a buzz about, scoop
Yep.
up the ones that are most interesting to me. I throw them
Yep.
up here and we talk about them. Are you ready?
Nope. Oh, yep.
Here we go.
All right.
Boom. All right. So I just want to catch everybody up on a continuing story from last week. Here we've got the Speaker of the House race that is continuing. Unfortunately, Jim Jordan's speakership bid ends after his third vote. He continued to get less and less votes each time that they put him up. And now the GOP is going to be looking to nominate somebody else. A couple of the names that have come out. Let's see. We've got Tom. I want to say his name is Minnesota Rep. Tom Emmer is being talked about, and former Speaker McCarthy has given him the endorsement. He's the majority whip right now in the House. But as of right now, when we're recording this, we don't have any names to give you on who they're going to be voting on next. So, but there we go. Speaker of the House. The saga continues. Got anything to add to that?
I got nothing except, can anything good come out of Minnesota?
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
you
we'll
betcha.
See. Oh, you betcha.
You betcha.
All right, moving on. Here's the next story that I got for you. All right, so fake accounts, old videos, and rumors fuel chaos around Gaza hospital explosion.
Oh man, I've heard about 50 stories on this.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you gotta love the way NPR. This is your tax dollars at work, guys. You gotta love the way
You're going to quote NPR.
Well, I usually try to vary the sources that I get these from, so that way people can't accuse us of being biased from any one source.
Oh,
But you gotta love the way that NPR presents this. So basically, the story goes as such: there was a hospital in Gaza.
yes.
There was an explosion outside of this hospital, ended up being in the parking lot. Several vehicles were damaged. People were injured. But that is not how the story was originally
done. No.
portrayed by the entirety of the legacy news media.
Right.
You guys probably saw headlines that said, Israel bombs hospital in Gaza, 500 dead. I think we're the first headlines that came out about it.
And women and children killed.
Right.
Don't forget the women and children part.
Right.
That was
could
a big
Israel
deal.
do this?
Yeah.
Then it got backtracked a little from there, and it was explosion at hospital.
Yes.
Kills 500. Then we're misattributing it to Israel. That gets walked back. It wasn't from Israel. Spoiler alert. Then it was blast. So it stops being a rocket, starts being an explosion. Then it goes to blast outside of hospital. Injures many.
many. Yeah, I remember. I saw that one. Mine went from kills 500 to injures many. So
Right.
I missed some of those steps going down. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, that was a huge difference.
Yeah. So story ends up being, after it all shakes out, and even NPR, the reason I wanted to show you guys the way that they're presenting it is really NPR basically being like, it's not our fault as the media. We got all these fake accounts and videos that are giving us all this disinformation. Hey, it's your job, Mr. Reporter Man, to figure out what the facts are before you put them out.
Yes.
Maybe use a little discretion. Oh,
I heard somebody talk about that. Can you add that?
Yeah, if you guys
give me an advertisement for that.
If you guys go back and watch The Big Idea, just say it, discretion. Maybe you might want to use a little. So anyway, what the real story ended up being is that in all likelihood, there was a rocket attack coming out of Gaza. I wonder who that could have been. Sending rockets out of Gaza, and to where one of these rockets most likely fell short, landed in the parking lot outside of the hospital, blew up several cars. Yes, there was a blast, but there was very few people injured in the end of this. There was a little bit of property damage. The hospital is fine. Turns out
the hospital is actually still operating.
Didn't even blow up.
Nope. In fact, it didn't even slow it down.
But at this point, like, here's a question that I have for you, and honestly, how much should people even give the legacy news media? You know, your big sources. Should people even pay attention to them anymore? When you have stories like this, you have, let's go back to 2016. You have Donald Trump's Russia collusion story that they ran with for years, ended up being completely and totally bunk. And we have example after example of them rushing to get a story out. And in this case, I mean, with the whole narrative falling apart in the span of like 48 hours, how much egg do these guys have on their face? Should people even pay attention anymore?
Well, do you know how Israel dispelled the whole story?
Well, to my understanding, they basically presented video and audio evidence of
They
dudes
did.
yeah, and they were just like,
You should know about the audio evidence because you have some history in this. But this is what they did. They captured a cell phone conversation between two Hamas. It was identified and so forth, and they tracked it. And the one was an under, and the other one was a lieutenant somewhere in the Hamas. And the under was trying to explain how the rocket got away from them and that it was injured, and and what it caused and so forth. And Israel released that recording in order to prove to the world, look, here's their conversation. They're admitting it. And when they finally did that, that's when all the rest of our news media, all except for one female in our government that is, I can't remember, I think she's in the House of Representatives or whatever, and she is a Palestinian American, and she's
talking about Representative.
I wasn't saying
Rashida,
any names.
I'm gonna call her out, Representative Rashida Tlaib.
That is the one. And she was going on talking about Israel's bloodbath against the Palestinians and how and she was the one that keeps going with the women and children being killed at the hospital, and so forth. But yes, Israel released that. I wanted to ask you this: by Israel releasing that, do you think did they give up any TS type of material that people would understand how they're getting some of their intelligence from Hamas?
I don't know enough about the situation to be able to say if they did or they didn't. My understanding is they just released the audio file of the phone call. So
right. I didn't know if that gave up any top secret information or whatever. I didn't know if anybody could get anything out of that or not. So that was something, because that's what another news reporter said. And I'm like, I don't think they would have released it if it would have given away information. They would have just eaten it because they weren't going to give up anything. But he's like,
I thought it was a big boss man move, dude. Like, look, we've got the receipts.
Here it is, right?
Yeah,
no, but this reporter goes on and he goes, and do you know the secrets that Israel gave up just in order to prove their innocence? And I'm thinking,
you mean they listen in to terrorist phone calls?
Don't we do the same thing?
Anyway, here we go. Last minute, 30 seconds. I got this one for you. And this one kind of had me cracking up. I can't leave it up on the screen for too long. You'll see why, but I got to read you this headline. So, it's not been enough to carry the day. Why the Victoria's Secret rebrand is over. So, are you tracking this story at all?
No.
So, Victoria's Secret, a little over a year ago, decided that they were going to rebrand their beauty company. And I think
beauty company, it's lingerie company.
Lingerie. It's for my
lingerie.
It's for my mom. I swear.
It's lingerie.
Anyway, so right, they make
women's
sexy underwear for beautiful ladies, right? And so traditionally over the
Makeup
years,
for every lady.
you got Victoria's Secret. They have a very famous fashion show that they put on. You've got they wear the angel wings. I mean, come on, dudes, you know. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. Well, about a year ago, they decided that they were going to rebrand their image, and they jumped onto with two
Feet.
resounding heavy feet.
Okay.
The body positivity movement. And so they've been recruiting a lot of,
I
we're going to call
didn't
them
know this.
plus sized models. one that is quite
Plus? She's plus plus?
quite plus, maybe 3 pluses.
Plus plus plus. Okay.
Anyway, they have found themselves in a Bud Light situation. They've lost billions of dollars of market capital.
Did you say butt light situation?
Yeah, they need to get their butt a little more light is the problem. But essentially, it's just another example of a company that is looking at their core audience, their core demographic, the people that buy their product, and we will tell you, consumer, what you will buy. Open your mouth. Here it comes. I'm going to cram it down your throat. And people are taking their dollars and they're going, no. You know, I'm not going to buy sexy lingerie from a company that doesn't even know what a beautiful woman looks like. I'm not doing it. I will go to another place to get my freely unmentionables, you know, and it's just cracking me up. And so now, Victoria's Secret is trying to like Homer Simpson their way into the bushes, right? Back away. Like they didn't just do what they did.
Are you saying that there's somebody in the bushes going, "Don't"?
Yeah. And it's just absolutely hilarious to watch. So if you guys want to see more on that story, you could just Google CNN Victoria's Secret. It pops right up. It's worth a read. I thought it was hilarious. Go and get yourself a few chuckles. It's not all bad news, is what I'm trying to tell you.
No. So obviously, there's pictures with this article.
Well, right. There was a lot of Victoria's Secret pictures, so that's what I was, that's not what this channel is about either.
You're going to get a lot of guys that go over there. Let's go check this out.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so that's what we got for you guys this week on Who's Who and What's New. I hope you enjoyed going through the headlines with us. Please make sure that you like the video, give it a thumbs up, follow, subscribe. Hey, and if you could, share the video with a friend. The algorithms don't like us. The only way that we're going to grow is with your help. So please show us some support, share the video. Hope you guys are sticking around for the keeping the main thing, and we'll see you over there.